This week on Arizona Illustrated, it's getting hot, so we're getting in the pool with some unlikely champions.
It's just really fun to all be able to swim together and just all kinds of different disabilities. Pretty cool.
Meet a Tohono O'odham artist who's honoring tradition and blazing a new path.
What we do is hereditary. We must represent that through our craft.
See how one local initiative is creating healthier food boxes.
Having these patients get fresh produce that's also local, that's pretty amazing.
And meet the creative team at Cream.
How can we form mutually beneficial partnerships in the shop or in the community?
Hello and welcome to Arizona Illustrated. I'm Tom McNamara, and we're joining you from our studios here in the basement of the Modern Languages building on the U of A campus, where another one of our programs is now being recorded. That's Hollywood at Home with Victoria Lucas. We've been in this space for decades, and we've pretty much outgrown it in every way possible. And we're looking forward to moving into our brand new building, the Baker Center at 36th Street and Kino come fall. And if you'd like more information about that, go to azpm.org/capital. You know, the University of Arizona is home to the only collegiate para swim team in the United States, where swimmers with various disabilities come together and unite, adapt, and overcome, just like true champions.
Growing up, I wouldn't let anything stop me. I would compete against my siblings, all the able-bodied people.
The water doesn't discriminate. It doesn't care what you look like.
When you're swimming with able-bodied, it's like you're trying to keep up with everybody, but then with para-swim, it's like everyone's kind of on their own level.
We are the only para-swim team at a university in our country. Our team has 10 swimmers right now. 2 of them are para-triathletes. Each person on our team has different challenges themselves. They're just like anybody else. Skyler, she is very dedicated and she works her tail off every practice. She doesn't have any excuses ever. In the past, I've made very hard sets for her and she calls them death sets. What? Tutus descend. We're trying to kill me. Streamline. Okay, ready, go.
I guess I've always been a swimmer. We just saw that I was like really good at it, which is kind of funny because nobody in my family can swim. I was born with like a genetic neuromuscular condition, but we didn't know until I was like 15 and I started having like weird pain and like tingling and stuff in my legs. Like I stopped being able to walk and then they were like, you know, what the heck? Like I went to like every doctor under the sun. Then there was like literally the easiest thing is like you spit in the tube, you know, for genetic testing. And it was like, oh, ta-da. And it's called Charcot-Marie tooth disease. There's no like real cure, but I know there's like all these like trials and stuff that they're working on.
Each swimmer has different abilities. Some para swimmers are slower, so they kind of get left out to getting much attention.
I don't really like look at the difference between like limbs and whatnot. When I'm in the water, I feel like an able body, so there isn't really a difference. It is cool when we go to swim meets and you see people that are like you.
Call her Fearless Freeman because she, right out of the gate, whenever you meet her or whenever she meets somebody new or there's anything that's in front of her, she's just all in.
This is so awkward. Okay, my name's Liberty Freeman. I swim for the U of A adaptive swim team. So I was born with tibial hemimelia. It's called like a floating foot. Got that amputated and then fitted for a prosthetic at the age of 3. So I've had a prosthetic for 16 years. So I don't know any different.
Noah came here in 2022, and our team was very small.
The team was super new here when I came, so it felt a little like isolating at times, swimming alone.
He had a really hard time when he was here. His roommate was terrible. He didn't make any friends.
And I saw the team here grew, so I decided to take a chance and come back, and I'm so excited that I did.
They definitely have become a family. There's a bond that happens when you train together that doesn't happen anywhere else.
I guess when it's a whole team of para-athletes, we're all just kind of used to like someone getting out and hopping across with one leg, whereas like able-bodied people that are a team, it's kind of like, oh, I've never seen that before. Libby and I were pretty good friends, and we always joke around with each other.
Bro, I can't feel my leg.
It's just really fun to all be able to swim together, and just all kinds of different disabilities. Pretty cool.
So Noah's here, any 50 that we're doing, I'm just like trying to keep up with him.
Oh, is he always beating you?
Most of the time.
Yeah, she's been great, showing me around Tucson, just making me feel welcomed, and then competing with me in the pool.
Go.
There's definitely been times where I feel like I've plateaued and I haven't gotten faster in a little bit, and that makes it tough, but just keep showing up every day with a good mindset and everything's gonna work out.
It's a sport. It helps us be a better person in the rest of our life. And hopefully we're building a community here where we help each other. So it's not just about swimming, obviously, it has to be about more.
Tune in next week and we'll introduce you to the inspiring members of the University of Arizona's adaptive golf team.
Adaptive golf is one of those things that anyone with any disability can be a part of. Any adaptive sport in general, but adaptive golf especially, because it's so diverse. There are people of all ages, all disabilities that are playing in our tournaments.
I bet you couldn't believe that a young man with one leg could shoot par, and another lady who was legally blind could also shoot par. These students are amazing.
Very good. That was a good putt.
Next, we visit the studios of Quinton Antone, a multimedia artist of Tohono O'odham and Kiowa heritage. Now, what sets Quinton apart is his ability to respectfully adapt ceremonial elements into secular art, thus making spiritual themes more accessible to a broader audience.
Good Kudanik, Wushamoy, Anya Upjigit, Quinton Antone. Good evening, my name is Quinton Antone, and I am from the village of San Miguel, which is in the district of Chukukuk. I did not know that I wanted to be a jeweler. Kind of struggled on what I wanted to do. I had a aunt who was married to an artist whose name was Duke Sign. You need to have some kind of lubricant. So this is, I'm using a wax just from a candle. I saw him create so many pieces of art. A lot of local artists, they used to come over. I remember them showing jewelry they made, and I was just so fascinated. It's like, oh man, how did you do this? I was thinking about something Rick Manuel had told me. What we do is hereditary. It's like in our genes. We're O'odham people, and we were O'odham before we even were born. We must represent that through our craft. I am doing a basket design It's actually a water design, and these symbolize the wave. I am part Kiowa. Occasionally we'll do something related in the Kiowa part, which is in the Oklahoma Southern Plains tribe. I stick to more of the natural elements of this region. I always liked doing art, but I never thought as me, pursuing it, because I thought that I didn't need somebody to teach me how to do art. I thought that I thought I knew it all. You're kind of arrogant. I took some jewelry classes, took some sculpture classes. Once I chose art as my major, things just took off from there. A lot of my work has designs, imagery of O'odham culture. It's a way to bring awareness about the O'odham people. I do a few techniques. One is overlay, and that's what Rick and James Fendenheim do. They have a sheet metal, and then they cut out a design, solder it to another piece. I like to incorporate stones, turquoise, different types of seashells. Every piece that I make has a little bit of a good thought, a prayer that I put into it. Whoever shall possess it, whoever shall use it, but have a good heart, good thoughts, good way, protect them. Fine silver is really malleable. So it's made out of fine silver. So this has like more silver than that actually does. I also want somebody who's gonna use it and appreciate it, and also know the meaning behind the symbols and the stones. For us, O'odhams and our ancestor, the Hohokam, one of the first to do like inlay thousands of years ago. As a descendant of them, I tried to bring that back. And I really, at one point, want to do a whole inlay piece of O'odham, symbolism, design. I'm gonna cut a little bit more off of it. I also want to teach my niece, my daughter, people that want to learn, so that they can continue the craft and be able to not only sustain themselves, financially, but also as a way to continue to represent our culture in this way. I would say to the upcoming jewelers or artists that are coming, don't give up. There's been many times where, my stuff didn't match up to, the status quo, I guess. And now with social media platforms, a lot of people, they look at, other people and they see that, oh, they're doing this, they're doing that, oh, they're better than me. They lose confidence in themselves to do that. That's what I was doing to myself. So I had to take myself off of, social media or Instagram and stop looking at those and start just kind of really creating from my heart and try to bring that to life. Sometimes I won't have silver, I'll have scraps, but I'll look at the scraps and I'll look at it and I'm like, oh yeah, this kind of looks like a lizard, and it kind of like speaks to me in a way. And so I'll kind of try to bring that out, even whether it be a stone, whether it be a shell, whether it be the silver. I kind of like have that relationship with these elements. Those who are upcoming, I would just like to tell them, trust the process. And if you really have passion for something you love to do, then the universe is going to make a path for you in that way.
We've dropped into the marketing department here at AZPM. These are the people charged with providing fresh ideas to keep us going. And there's another fresh on campus. It's an innovative program managed by the School of Nutritional Sciences and Wellness. And what they do is provide medically tailored food boxes and educational support to food insecure individuals who have or are at risk of developing diet-related diseases.
So today's Friday, but on Wednesday, about 15 different farms visited our warehouse and brought products varying from collard greens and cabbages to grapefruits, mandarin oranges, limes, fennel. The lettuce heads that we put in the bag this week are grown 4 miles to the east of here at a place called Westover Farm. All the mandarin oranges and citrus came from the Phoenix Valley. The fennel was from a farm on the west side of town. All this food doesn't travel very far from where it's seeded, watered, harvested, and we spend the next 2 days sorting them into what size packages they need to be in and ultimately getting them prepared to show up Friday morning here at the door of El Rio.
The FRESH program helps with individuals that are experiencing food insecurity, so they don't have access to food regularly or maybe very much food, not enough food. So what we've done is partnered with the Community Food Bank and partnered with Pivot Produce and the University of Arizona to bring food into the clinic. You know, having these patients get fresh produce that's also local and having exposure and learning about the local food system and what kinds of things Arizona can grow and does grow, I think that's pretty amazing.
FRESH stands for Food and Resources Expanded to Support Health. So it is food-based, it is food-focused, and our idea is that simply providing more of the right kind of things to eat will help people better manage their diet-sensitive condition. A lot of complications can be prevented by better nutrition, and maybe half of all of chronic conditions are diet-related. And so the food part is really important.
And the food that has been chosen is high fiber food and some protein, seasonings, cooking oil, vegetables, canned beans, lentils. So really things that, can really help regulate blood sugar, provide a lot of nutrition, help them feel full for a long time, and have a really well-rounded meal. Hi, Travis, how are you?
Good morning.
Good morning. They also have the opportunity to meet with the registered dietitian. So about once a month or more, we bring one of our registered dietitians to the pickup site so that they can meet with the registered dietitian while they're picking up their food. They can look at the food together, see what's in the bag. They can go through recipes, answer any questions that they have.
It helps out a lot that you understand what you're eating, what's good for you. My blood sugar was like around 11 a year ago, and now I got it down to 6.7. So, I just cut out the sugars, and took care of myself, more vegetables, watched what I ate. I've lost like about 40 pounds. And so it's been really good for me. It's a good program. All right, guys, thank you very much.
FRESH 2 is designed as a waitlisted, controlled, randomized trial, which means that half of the participants we recruit come in and they wait 6 months before they participate in the intervention. The other half come in and they start participating right away. Everybody is measured every 3 months because we want to understand how does the control, the people who are waiting, compare with the intervention, the people who get it right away, in order to see if there's an impact of the intervention. Everybody gets followed for a whole year. We're still understanding the cost benefit. That's something, a very important piece of this, because we think that it will actually in the long run be less cost to the people themselves with the condition and also to society and to health payers if people are able to manage their condition utilizing food first in addition to medication.
This is part of healthcare, that this is an aspect that should be included in with medication and with primary care visits. This is one thing that can make as much of a difference in those health outcomes that we're kind of all looking at with patients.
The top 3 reasons why people eat what they eat is it tastes good, it's convenient, and it doesn't cost too much. And health is way down that list. So how can we move that up farther? And I think FRESH helps make that a little bit easier for some people.
Anything that helps individuals improve their nutrition. As a registered dietitian, of course, I'm on board, and I love that, and it makes me really excited. So it's really great to see this project come to its fruition.
To be able to bring incredibly healthy, incredibly fresh, and incredibly important ingredients to those individuals that need it the most, it's why we do this work.
Cream is a Tucson business that designs and prints some of the most iconic and memorable logos and t-shirts in town. Think EG's, Exo Coffee, or how about the Protect the Sonoran Desert Toad t-shirt? Well, next you'll meet the Cream team and find out how this unique business got started.
I started screen printing in high school for friends' bands, very DIY, and started my own clothing brand called Carne and Queso. People liked the designs I was printing and would keep asking me like, hey, couldn't you print my stuff? And I'd always say, no, I don't want to do this as like a job. This is just my hobby. And I met this lovely lady, Marissa, who was able to help form that into an actual business.
I don't know anything about business. I've actually had no interest in business my whole life. I always thought it was really boring. And then I was like, oh, actually, I think it's kind of just like solving problems, like creative problem solving. That started to feel really exciting for me. So I thought, you know, I'll help you for a few months. And then it just kind of snowballed into the next few years.
I've always been a lifelong fan of the Wu-Tang Clan. Cream, casseroles, everything around me. I thought that was like the perfect name for a business endeavor. I already had a tattoo that was cream, so I could just say I got a tattoo of my business name. So here's my old cream tattoo. It's old enough that it's starting to fade. I think now it just says Ream. I need to get that touched up or get a new cream tattoo. My dad's favorite band is Cream. He thinks that Cream is in reference to his favorite band. I never correct him.
Some of those beginning clients, we were able to bring on a lot of cool like coffee shops. But I think when the Loft put in an order, we were like, oh, this is real and we've made it. They've been one of our sustaining clients over the last 8 years.
We help clients bring their merch ideas to life. EGs.
EXO.
Sace.
Decibel Coffee.
Pigeon Palace.
Mocha. Transit Cycles. Wooden Tooth. How Sweet It Was. Pivot Produce. Southern Arizona AIDS Foundation.
Some people come to us just for design. Some people come with us just to make merch. Some people come to us to collaborate because they like the Cream brand itself.
Our own designs and pop-up can be a little bit more like edgy and culturally relevant.
We've worked well together because I am like, oh, it'd be so amazing to just shock people with this weird, disgusting thing. Marissa is very good about like providing some context to how that might negatively affect the image of the company and maybe how to like alter that in such a way that it doesn't push certain buttons, but it does others. Even conservative companies want to go a little bit out there sometimes, do something different. And we have 3 people here that all do design work for clients. And I'm one of those people, and there's Spencer and Karina. I was just like, man, someday I got to work there. Like, so it just like, it really was like a dream come true. This place is definitely a very unique place to work. I feel like we get a lot of like collaborating with everybody on the team. I would say it's a pretty like equal feeling. We also get a lot of leadership kind of in all of our roles too.
Rose was one of the first like employees we hired on to do administrative work. Yeah, and Rose is still here with us now, so.
She's on maternity leave currently.
Maternity leave, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Congratulations, Rose.
Yeah. She's actually here, so she's gonna do an interview.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
When I first moved to Tucson, I had a little stint delivering mail for USPS. But it was such a bureaucracy, and not to mention it was 110 degrees in the mail van. So as soon as I found my place at Cream, I felt more comfortable here. The most challenging part has definitely been just to maintain the volume of business that we need to thrive. I think it kind of started with the pandemic, and then a lot of small businesses are still trying to bounce back from that. I'm able to use the resources here to create prints, t-shirts for my own brand. I make basically just cat art.
I feel like it's such a creative-based shop. I feel like a lot of print shops don't encourage artistic vision as much. Manual printing is kind of like the old school way of printing. It's how I learned how to screen print. Whereas the auto, you're mainly lining up and registering the screen, and then the auto does all the printing for you. So you can do a lot more shirts on the auto. The manual is definitely more tedious, has more of an artistic background in it. There's definitely a lot with screen printing that can go wrong. Like my first day of screen printing, my boss told me, and I'm not allowed to cuss, but he told me, you're gonna it up. Learn from it. It's an art medium. Art doesn't always go right. I printed an order. I printed it all upside down, and I started a fire.
Yeah, a lot of the projects we do are a local artist, collaborations. Like an example is the Mount Lemon tea, which people have really liked that Cream put out. It's very tongue-in-cheek. Everything on it is wrong. Tucson spelled wrong. Mount Lemon spelled wrong. It's not Mount Lemon. It's a mountain. So it's very like Tucson local humor. Dimitri Manos is a musician and artist, and that was something that we worked with him to create the Mount Lemon design. And he also made one that's for the biodome, kind of making fun of the biosphere. One, I think, big project that really utilized all aspects of Cream, things that we were good at, was the awareness campaign for the Sonoran desert toad and people using it to harvest its psychedelic secretions and how that is negatively affecting the toad population. We worked with Robert to come up with imagery, and also Hamilton Morris, who had a show that kind of talked about those things, and we're able to figure out how to reproduce a pamphlet from the 70s that talked about it. There's probably like a few thousand of those shirts out there, and a portion of each proceeds of each shirt goes to the Tucson Herpetological Society. Yeah, there's a lot of good marketing, a lot of good design, building relationships with different people, and utilizing that to also have proceeds go to actually trying to affect the problem that we were talking about. I think was us kind of running on all cylinders, and we've kind of been able to do that with other projects as well. Use that as a blueprint.
It's really unsustainable to treat people with disrespect. Like, they're not going to stick around as employees, as clients, as collaborators. So I think for me, just thinking, how can we form these like mutually beneficial partnerships with people, whether those are partnerships with people we work with, you know, in the shop or in the community. I think prioritizing the profit is just short-sighted, and I think we're here for the long haul, so. Cut to the train.
Thank you for joining us here on Arizona Illustrated. I'm Tom McNamara. We'll see you again next week. Hi, I'm Tom McNamara, host of Arizona Illustrated. Thank you for watching this entire episode of our show here on YouTube. And if you liked it, well, here's another episode that we think you'll like.